Hello everyone. Well, I have dug my heels into a whole nother category here, looking for another thing to throw in my purse to make sketching a little more easy. So I ran into the Lochby, which seemed like it was more up my alley than like a traditional traveler's notebook, since that didn't come with any pockets. So these are supposed to have lots of pockets, and we'll see if it all works. So let's get to unpackaging all of this. First, we have the little pen case, and it's all soft and furry. I guess they just updated it, and it's got like this beautiful lining in here. So we'll be putting some pens in here and seeing how it fits. Look how pretty. That was such a nice bright yellow. Oh, and on the outside, there's actually a pocket that goes all the way around and a little pocket here, so you could put more pens there, or a little notebook or something to that effect. Really nice. And this is like a waxed canvas. Sorry, I had a battle with some ink and I lost. So if you notice ink spills all over my hands, yep, that. I tell you, I just try and be neat and it just doesn't work all the time. And then I ordered a few of the dot grids, which is going to be like my dump, my ideas and my thoughts and ideas for sketching into that notebook. And then the star of the show, oh, my throat kept going. I had to take a second and get something to drink. This is their Traveler's notebook. It has a handle out here, nice big pocket back here, a hook for your pens, latch system here, it did come with one of these dot grids, so we'll just put that off to the side. This has got a Velcro on this pocket. I don't know how deep this goes. Let's see how deep this goes. Okay, so this is like a business card type amount. And then this one goes all the way down through both of those. And then this is also like a business card one. And let me turn on a little more light. I thought that the window was bright enough, but I think this even, so we can see the interior even a little better. This is a full slip pocket, so a nice big long pocket. And there's also one over here. And then it has two placeholders for your notebooks. And then 4 bands. So you're supposed to be able to put 4 notebooks in here easily, and I'm sure people could stack it a little bit more. So what I did, knowing that this was on its way, I went ahead and took some of my favorite watercolor paper, and you can see I was kind of pressing the seams a little bit to make it a little tighter, the folds. And I did 3 watercolor ones and 1 drawing paper type one. So we'll open up a couple of those and put those in here. And we'll put one of these dots in there. So I'll have at least 3 to start with. And so let's get started. Let me get all my stuff and we'll start loading her up. Okay, so hopefully you can see we'll do this one secondary. And let's start with the one that they sent. See how that looks. I've never had any of the traveler size, but my thinking was when I was making this, I'm like, it's nice and small for your purse, but when you open it up, it makes a perfect square. And I am a square format kind of girl. So I'm like, well, in a small format, that makes perfect sense. Rather than bringing a larger sketchbook, I can just go right across the bindings. And the stock grid looks pretty nice. This is going to be just doodles and getting ideas down. So hopefully I'm doing this right. Totally new at this. I put it in the middle. We'll see how that works. I can always adjust. So that lays pretty nice. There's not going to be any overhang because I think this is pretty thickly made. And these are stiff. It's not total soft cover. Like they have some give to it. Like there's a hard board in there or something. So that'll be easy to write on. So let's see what we have here. I'm going to take off these clips that I have it all. I have clips all over the place. So basically I just cut the paper to size and fold it in half. It was a little bit wider by about 1/8 of an inch, if that. Maybe more like a 1/16 of an inch. And I cut that, folded it in half, and then trimmed a little bit if it overhung a little bit from the middle ones. And I stitched with some thread just along the way. It only took me a couple of minutes by hand. And I used, on the watercolor, because it's real thick, I used 10 pages, or 5 sheets to make 10 pages, or 5 total openings, which is just the perfect size for just a little carry and go. So we'll put that one in there. It's a little thick. I might have to put a little clip on it. And where I put that band, I might need to actually put that band in a different spot. And then this one I did some drawing paper. It's actually a laid paper. And I thought it would be a really pretty texture to go ahead and draw on. So the paper's kind of thinner. But something fun, something a little different. And let's see if I can grab that band. And let's see how thick that is. Well, it's getting a little chunky. We'll see if we can put the full 4 in there. This one is a little bit thinner, and I don't know why, but Arches hot press tends to fold smoother than a lot of the other papers. I have, I made one out of Canson Heritage, I made one out of Lana, and I made one out of Arches in the watercolor paper. And this one I did use regular thread, which did make it a little bit thinner. See, that one's laying so much better than this one. This one is really, really thick. Alright, so that's 4 notebooks, 2 watercolor, and a notebook. Well, that's in there pretty good. Not too bad. Alright, let me get the other things together that we're going to go ahead and put, and it's got a little bit of extra room. And you can definitely put in a pen. Let's go ahead and grab the pen right away. This is a TWSBI mini. And that works pretty good. So nice. Okay, let me get the other things together and we'll see what we're going to put in here. Okay, here is my pile of things. I did take out one of the watercolors. I only need 1 watercolor, 1 drawing, and 1 notes. So I think that'll be more than fine. And I have some little terries here to wipe brush on, a little kneaded eraser, a little teeny thing of tape. I have a couple of palettes, a pencil sharpener, pencil, and a couple miscellaneous pens and water brushes. So let's see what goes in here or doesn't fit in here, and we'll take it from there. Okay, it took me a little shucking and jiving. So I have a little thing of tape in here. I've got 3 pens, a ballpoint with a mechanical pencil pen. There's a water brush here, 2 regular brushes, a black wing pencil, a little spray bottle, kneaded eraser, and a tiny little pencil sharpener on this side. And then on the back side, I have 2 of these little art toolkit watercolors. I can watercolor till I'm blue in the face. And one of those Swedish reusable kind of like paper towel, washable paper towel type thing in the back. And I have just a quarter of that one. I put little clips on here. I only have the 3 in here, and it folds up really, really nicely without much. Oops. I didn't want to loosen it. I want it pretty tight. There we go. So it still has quite a bit tab on it that I could add the other notebook in there. I could add a couple more things, but I think this is the perfect size. It even has a little handle on it. Not that I think I'll use that. That's just, this is going to go right in my bag. It has everything that I need, and so nice and compact. And I think I'm really going to enjoy it. It gives me a variety of everything. So let's move on to this, which is also going to go in my purse to kind of add on to this. And I got it in 2 different colors. This is the blue, and both of them have that yellow interior. But this one's got the plushie. But I think they look nice together. I'm not a matchy-matchy kind of girl, so I like everything a little bit different. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this all in there. And I did pick out some pens, so I'm hoping everything fits. We'll go with these others. There's some different sizes here. This is a fine. This is a pinpoint, so like a 0.1. I have a 1.2 stub and a foodie. And they slip in there really, really nice. Of course, a lot more room if you have a full-size pen. I wouldn't say like an extreme size pen, but you definitely can get a good size pen in here. And then I have these other ones. This is a gray in here. Then I have like a green gray in this pen. I do have blue in this pen. This is a brown. And this is a very dark red. And I'm going to see, because I don't think it'll fit in here like this. Yeah, see, it's a little too tight. Like the stitching should have been over a little bit to get 2 pens in that one, or that one's just made for a big pen. Let's see if it'll fit in this middle slot. And it does. So I can still get the 8 pens in there very, very nicely. Let's take a closer look. And then if I really wanted to, let me see if you really wanted to bring a couple extra things, you could. I'm thinking that these size pens, yeah, see the little travel Quattro ones would fit really, really nicely and tight in that pocket. So you could definitely bring probably 2, 3, 4, maybe 4 more if you really wanted to bring a lot of colors, or you have a lot inked at the same time. These are what my current inking looks like. These 3 are black. Like I said, I have a brown, a blue, like a greenish gray, a regular gray, and this is like a dark, dark burgundy type color. So that adds to my drawing here, and that is going to go in my purse and be with me all of the time, and I am so, so happy. I really, really like it. And I hope you had a little fun checking everything out with me. And if you want to know how I made these, and I just used a paper cutter and measured it out, but I can show you if you'd like. And then folding 10 sheets, and then the cover sheet is like that paint on toned paper, like kind of like a cardstock, very smooth, which you could also use as part of your drawing and everything like that. So let's zoom out here, and thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.